You guys saw the results of the male video. And here we are with 16 girl contestants. Those I've chosen that I feel like may need more character development or screen time along with just overall entertainment. Go ahead and comment down one person from each team you believe may win. And if you're new to the channel, don't be afraid to leave a like and subscribe. It is a huge help. Let's get it. This is going to be exactly like the male video where the challenges aren't really the focus and instead it's the storyline. So when the teams are announced and Chris lets them have their talk time. Alright, so I feel like Dawn and Ella are definitely talking to each other, becoming friends. Definitely relating over animals, and I feel like Ella may be able to help her sing. Courtney, Julia, and Nichelle definitely all talking, getting along. In which I feel like Izzy and Eva might team up just due to their coincidental likenesses, along with being immense strengths. In which MK just kind of hangs back and like spectates, but she heavily talks to Courtney, filling her ego and talking smarts with her, along with Izzy. I feel like Dawn can sense she's a kleptomaniac, and due to her getting out due to false kleptomania, she might be a little peeved at that. Eva, of course, is targeting Courtney, since she was part of the Killer Bass team that voted her off. Izzy wasn't around in time to vote Eva, so that's why Eva's like, you know what, you get a pass. Now, from Spectral Serpents to Cosmic Commando, we got Lindsay and Sadie I feel like would talk to each other. Both coming from the island, and, you know, they do have character development with each other, and they did gather a liking. Feel like that could be a replacement for Katie in the meantime. I feel like Jasmine and Sammy are also definitely getting along, especially since Jasmine was the only person to see Sammy for who she was as a person. These three right here are huge oddballs. I do think Lori could potentially end up being with the Lindsay and Sadie gang. Maybe she could even braid their hair. Could you imagine Sadie with braids? Anne Maria might just be doing her own thing, maybe talking to Joe once in a while. Or her and Lindsay could definitely be talking. I feel like her and Lindsay may talk, but Anne Marie might get annoyed with her personality. Same thing with Sadie. Scary girl, she talks to Joe because Joe can use her as a number. Alright, so the first challenge, I won't even lie to you, I think Spectral Serpents probably got that kind of easy dubs. At least for the first one where they gotta like weed out the weak. In which I feel like that is recognized, like this challenge was lost due to their immense strength up there. So Joe, Scary Girl, and Anne Maria all kind of formed together. In which Anne Maria just kind of passes the information along to Lindsay. Hey, when your girls talk about who to get out tonight, don't mention me, don't mention Scary Girl, and do not mention Joe. But Joe, knowing Anne Maria did this, they're like, alright, we're secure, we can do a blindside. And so Joe tips off Jasmine, hey, go listen in on their conversation, listen to what they're gonna say. Because they just came up to us and told us that Sammy or you were going. Don't believe me? Check it out. And so she does, and they do end up talking about how these three are safe, in which she's like, oh hell nah. Goes to Joe, in which these five vote off Lori, and that's just because I feel like Anne Maria does actually have a connection with Lindsay, and so Joe wouldn't touch that in fear of losing an alliance member, even if they aren't the best connected. And I feel like Joe may be able to use that later on, because she's able to manipulate the Islanders together as a duo way more easier than she probably is Lori. Alright, now with the blindside happening, they're obviously confused and they're like, what is going on? So Sammy being around them is actually able to open up to them and be like, yeah, we caught wind of what you guys were doing and what you guys were planning. And they were like, we weren't planning anything, they were planning, they told us. And so they're like, oh, so they're just a bunch of big bozo liars then. In which Lindsay and Anne Maria have a huge argument. Seeing Lori gone, as she was the only person from the Amazing Race, I don't think anyone would care that much. I think Dawn and Ella might have been the only people to care. Perhaps they got to know her during the time on the island. But their votes were not present, so it did not matter what they felt. I feel like Courtney, Nichelle, and Julia are definitely getting all the tea of the blindside that happened. MK also getting this information. Cosmic Commando got this for character development. Definitely a team help building character development challenge. Team progression type beat. In which Spectral Serpents, they start going crazy. Because there are obviously sections divided and none of them mess with each other. However, seeing as there's 3 of the new Islanders there, and then 3 of the OGs on the team, they are afraid that they might quickly recognize that and reconcile with each other. So Dawn kind of does that reading aura thing, and after reading everyone's personality, she figures out that MK is probably the least crazy and cruel. Not that Nichelle really did anything that was bad, it's just that I feel like these two are so bad compared to these two that they have to go with MK, in which it's these 3 getting intel from MK herself from confessionals, where she finds out these 2 are indeed voting Julia, so they do that as well. RIP 15th place. She connived, but she connived too fast, too hard. So obviously Courtney and Nichelle are flabbergasted. They're like, what happened? Eva is like, you're lucky it's not you. The only reason it's not you is because if I did that, there would be less OGs and more noobs. Alright, so these guys are actually kind of happy to hear she's gone, as she might have not been the nicest, especially as they were on the opposing team. Joe might have wanted to work with her, but that's too late. She gotta look forward now. I feel like Jasmine is able to talk to Sadie about Katie and her worry issues. She is that emotional kind of person where she's able to help someone like that. In which I feel like at this point in the show, maybe Scary Girl even like dyed Lindsay's hair her color. Maybe imagine that or something. Cosmic Commandos winning the next immunity, in which I feel like Izzy's intuition makes her suspect that MK is up to something. So she says something very specific in the confessional that she never really says anywhere else, or something she didn't mean, and she catches MK. And so when MK like repeats or relays this information that she got from the confessional, Izzy is obviously like, nah, no way she knows that. Cap. She tells Eva, in which Eva kind of has to choose to either trust these 2 or these 2, and she definitely chooses the weaker 2 because mainly Dawn has integrity and she can kind of sense the truth in her, aka those 5 goodbye, aka these 4 decide to vote MK, RIP. Nichelle and Scary Girl are probably definitely thinking like, the newbies are kind of getting clapped. We ought to feel a little bit targeted. And feeling that way, Nichelle kind of jumps ships and go to Izzy and Eva, as they are very strong, and she feels like they're more open into accepting a number, especially that way they can be 3 strong. And she promises Eva, first thing we can do when we lose is blindside Courtney, I promise that. Eva's like, bet. Jasmine, I feel like kind of got along with MK, so I feel like for her it'd be a little bit sad. I'm also gonna say that Scary Girl switches out Anne Maria's spray can for her own kind of hair color, and that's what her hair turns into. I don't know if she would like it or hate it, but that's for y'all to decide. And you know what? I feel like Sadie also grabs it willingly and just sprays it herself, and she's like, oh, not bad, I'm gonna have to get Katie some. And you know what? To look more different from Amy, I'm gonna say Sammy sprays like a little strand of her hair. You see that strand of hair that's in front next to her ear? She sprays that the same color as well. So we got a whole bunch of Scary Girl lookalikes. So we have a whole bunch of Billy eyelashes walking around. Cosmic Commandos, however, going to the challenge, defeating it, sending Serpent straight back to Campfire Ceremony. In which I feel like Nichelle tells Courtney, don't worry, I got a plan, just vote Ella. That's what she does. These 2 vote Courtney. Courtney votes Ella, in which literally everyone else votes Courtney. I'm sorry, RIP. Now this is the lovely Purge to Merge double elimination. In order to get to Merge, they have to complete a challenge. The last 2 to complete it are eliminated from the game. Now usually for this scenario, I kind of have like a race kind of idea in my head. But like a quirky race with a whole bunch of obstacles and maybe puzzles, or a do this or do that kind of scenario. Jasmine, I feel like, is making it through, along with Scary Girl. Alright, and then Joe probably making it, along with Izzy and Eva. You know what? I'm gonna say they actually help and work with each other. Anne Maria doing her own thing, I feel like can make her own way back. And I don't think Nichelle strayed too far away from Izzy or Eva either, so I feel like she could get there pretty soon, pretty timely. Jasmine goes back out there, able to retrieve Sammy, Dawn, Ella, Sadie, and Lindsay, final 4 having to make it, in which the next one through, congratulations, Dawn, in which sadly, Lindsay and Ella You two are eliminated. It's sad to see those two go, especially since they're like very nice and they kind of deserve a dub. But here, during the race, the obstacles, they were just too slow. Now welcoming the final 10. Alright, so almost instantly, Eva has Sadie in her sights. Cause Sadie was part of the Killer Bass squad that voted Eva out. And Izzy was kind of the reason Sadie was there, for real, for real. So Izzy might show just a little bit of sympathy because she might recognize that Eva's fetish, her hitman contract-like fetish, is weird, but she kind of digs it. And so does Scary Girl. You know what, Scary Girl? Eva and Izzy all working together right now. Eva said, I need numbers. We have Nichelle, who is on the same season as you. Let's get this group together. In which I feel like Joe is probably immediately going to be talking to Anne Maria and Sadie about needing numbers. I feel like Sadie losing Lindsay like that, which might have been her closest ally, made her sad. So during the first elimination challenge, I'm gonna go ahead and say, for the first immunity challenge, Eva gets that dub. I feel like it would most likely be a strength kind of thing to show what the competition's all about. Plus endurance. You gotta add some like grizzly bears or something in there. I feel like these four are gonna ask and maybe even try and peer pressure a little these three. But Samy's like, no way we are gonna do Eva's plan and vote off Sadie. No way we are doing that. I like Sadie. I have history with Sadie. Let's get these guys out. I know we can't vote out Eva, who wants to be the one to do this anyway. But we all have to combine and get someone else out, in which I feel like they can all collectively come together and clap Izzy because she's a huge threat. She probably almost won this immunity challenge. Now with Izzy gone, Eva's enraged. She's actually mad. She's seeing red. So she got that fuel in her, and then it is revealed like out of thin air. Campers, someone has an idol, just like the boys. Is it Eva? Someone knows, someone doesn't know. Joe winning individual immunity. Now obviously everyone is starting to target Eva, but I won't lie to you, I feel like Joe kinda likes Eva. And yes, Sadie is on her side. She can use that to her advantage though. She'd be like, Sadie, I want to vote off Eva, but I saw her pick up an idol, and she's just lying. She never saw Eva pick up an idol. But Sadie buys that. Eva, Scary Girl, Nichelle, Joe, and Sadie vote Jasmine. Anne Maria votes Scary Girl. Jasmine, Sammy, and Dawn votes Eva. AK, I'm sorry, Jasmine, I'm sorry. Sadie just didn't want to vote her, period. And I feel like Joe doesn't want to lose a TDRI just yet. The final 8. Alright, so this is when I feel like Sadie tells Dawn and Amy about Eva having the idol and Joe saying she does. And so these two are like, we aren't sure if she does have it. So Dawn asks her about it, in which Eva just kind of brushes it off, and she knows that Dawn works with Sammy, who is heavily aligned with Sadie, so Eva doesn't want none of that noise. She doesn't want to give the enemy any information, so she just brushes it off, puts in her old-ass, dusty, crusty, musty MP3 player, and ignores her. In which Eva tells Joe this, that Dawn came up to her asking these questions, confused why she even said this, and Joe's like, bet, we gotta get rid of this threat. And so basically these 4 vote Dawn, these 3 vote Joe, and Anne Maria votes Eva because Scary Girl has individual immunity. Dawn is voted out, but then presents she has the invincibility statue, meaning the runner-up of votes is eliminated instead, aka Joe, get clapped, RIP. Alright, at this point Anne Maria is kind of like a free-for-all. She has to choose a side. And I won't lie to you, looking at these sides, I believe she's gonna choose this one indefinitely. Especially with Joe leaving and she's not too sure what to do. So Nichelle feel like she's able to immediately talk to Scary Girl, Eva, and Anne Maria like, alright, are we actually the 4? Are we good? In which they're like, yeah, let's all vote Dawn. Suddenly taking a creepy interest in Dawn is Scary Girl. In which Scary Girl is like, how can you understand how I'm feeling? No one has ever, able to understand how I feel. My emotions are so complex, yet you can feel them. How is that? How can you read me? What's going on? She doesn't want Dawn out, so she simply spills the beans. These 4 instead, so since Anne Maria won individual immunity, these 4 instead vote Nichelle. It's a plot twist, and I feel like Scary Girl likes being the only OG left anyway. Alright, Scary Girl winning individual immunity, in which Sammy, Dawn, and Sadie are like, alright, can we actually persuade her? Because Dawn, we know that you have a connection with Scary Girl. So she tries to talk, and Scary Girl's like, you know what, yeah, I'm okay with Anne Maria going. But Scary Girl, even though she's scary, she wants to murder, her instincts might not be the most rational. She knows she needs these numbers, and she's like, guys, I understand I betrayed last time, but that was protecting a friend. One of you are leaving, but I promise I will vote your way. This can be a tie, and it's up to you. And Eva and Anne Maria, seeing no choice, agree. So Eva obviously throws up Sadie's name, in which everyone agrees to that. These three instead vote Anne Maria, which it's Sadie versus Anne Maria. Anne Maria body Sadie. 6th place is great for the homie Sadie. Godspeed. Alright, I feel like Dawn and Sammy definitely feel this pressure, and that's why I'm gonna give Sammy that dub. So now Scary Girl is like, dang, who do I choose? My alliance or Dawn? In which Eva, Anne Maria, Dawn, and Sammy all get around in a circle to talk about how creepy Scary Girl is, why she's still here. She's trying to murder us every single day. Get her off this island. Scary Girl did good though. She did good for what it was. So the final 4 being here, I definitely feel like it's Eva and Anne Maria talking against Dawn and Sammy. And you know what? I'm gonna give Dawn that immunity win, which means it's Anne Maria versus Sammy, in which, you know what? Anne Maria bodies again. R.I.P. Sadie. Has there ever been a double tiebreaker winner? Has that ever happened? Anne Maria might be the first. And you know what? She earned it, because now she is in the final 2, winning the last immunity. Dawn, easy outs. I'm sorry. Just keep in mind, everything is only my opinion. You guys can choose which one is the winner, and then which one is the alt winner. For me, it's probably Eva's the winner. I do hope you guys like this. If you want to see more of this, let me know in the comments. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It is a huge help to the channel, and I dare every single one of you amazing people to have a good day.